Hi friends, let's discuss further how smart leadership can help you grow. And what or how does smart leadership look like? The big question for you. Let's explore how we can implement a bit more of that into real time, our business scenarios. It's about designing a business that runs smoothly even when you are not involved in every detail of the functioning of the business. That's what we call smart leadership. That means the business can run exactly the way you want it even without you being involved in everything. It looks like or hears like fantasy for you, like fairy tale. No. Smart business is actually about delegating your work with clarity. We have been delegating our work over a period of time to different team members. We hired members for different roles. We delegate the work. But what happens here is the clarity you have in what needs to be done, how that needs to be done, when that needs to be done is not there for the employee. And that's where they expect us to answer all the queries and keep on clarifying them in between. And so we get involved finally. It comes to a situation that without you, that particular department, that particular employee is not fully productive. That's why we say delegate your work with clarity. Every of our employee should know what is the vision of the company, what's the goals of the company, why are they working, why are they slogging. It's not for salary. There should be a goal for the company for which they are working. If they know what the goal is, then they can build their own clarity. They have more clarity on the vision of the company and the business owner. And when they start working with that in mind, that's when they start taking responsibilities. They start delegating to their juniors. And the output comes the way you wanted the output to be. It's something like creating multiple replicas of you. Multiple business owners like you and putting them in different places with different job roles for which they are highly capable and intelligent. Think about that. Why did your delegation did not work in the last time? What happened when you delegated the work and still you had to run behind them for getting the work done in the way you felt it wanted? There's a saying, if some of your delegated work by an employee is being done 80% to your expectation, 80% good, it's wow. Never expect them to do 100% of the work the way you would be doing them. If they're doing 80%, they are great, they're excellent. That is the expectation we should have. Change your mindset. With that expectation, start working from tomorrow. You will start finding the results. If they do 80% of the work the way you want it to be done, rather than the 100% that you will be doing, they're excellent. Appreciate them for their effort. Take care of them. Mentor them. Coach them. They will grow with you. They will make sure the company grows. And in any business, maybe from the smallest level of a business, which has a monthly turnover of a few $100,000, or to a business that has a few $100,000. Everywhere there is repetitive work. The same work being done multiple times by multiple people or multiple times by the same people. You need to automate that. Avoid creating duplicity of work or repetitive work to the maximum you can. And that cannot happen overnight. It has to be redone again and again and again. Go through that cycle of doing it again and again. That's when you keep on reducing the you keep on reducing the repetitive work or duplicity of work, and automatically the employees have more time to do productive work rather than replicating the work. And that is what gives them the more time to create or work wherein more productivity comes in. The productivity is accounted for rather than doing the same work again and again. Reduce unnecessary communication. We have normally following a system where we send out a mail with copy to 10 people. And we don't know who is to respond on that and who is to work on that. We never follow the concept of marking to and copy in an email and the BCC. These things were generated decades before. The to is for someone who needs to act on that, and the CC or copy is for someone who needs to be kept in picture in the loop that such a thing is being done by him. That's all. What we do is we mark to everybody, and they don't know who is to respond. They lose clarity on that. Who needs to do the work? Someone takes it up and does it. If it doesn't do it, then you re-follow up it again. Avoid that. No unnecessary communications. Use systems which can automatically delegate work as task, as to-do list to them, and they finish their work. It keeps them updated in the CRM you have or the ERP you have. Create workflows that guide your team. Okay. There is a feeling that when an ERP comes in picture, when automation comes in picture, when a software is implemented, you are trying to micromanage the team. No, it's not that. You are trying to guide your team on how they should finish their work and giving them more clarity on what they should be doing. So it helps them avoid repetitive work. It helps them do their works faster with better clarity. And you don't micromanage that. You are free of that. So that time is saved for you. This starts happening, and that's the time when you start operating at your highest levels. You start operating at highest levels when you find that you are free from micromanaging the teams you have, free from micromanaging the processes that is followed in the company, the different departments they have. When you're free from that, you have thought process, you have free brain, you have time for yourself. When you start thinking, yes, what next? And you start operating from your highest levels, the toppest levels you reach there. Your maximum performance, your experience, your capability, everything starts coming into play for the growth of the company. And you become a good leader wherein you lead with leadership and clarity rather than creating a chaos in the company. You have seen some scenarios and sometimes in our life when we call the whole team together, run out a meeting, firing here, firing there with that issues. Does it bring results? No, it just satisfies your ego. Firing off people early in the morning, creating chaos in the company, making everybody unhappy, what does it do? It does not give you results. Yes, people strive, they work hard to make you comfortable, to make you happy, not because they are happy. They just don't want to hear this same bullshit again and again. So you are creating more chaos in the company than clarity. And this in turn brings down the morale of the team. You become a very bad leader. Whereas it should be on the contrary. Leader should not be shouting. He should have found the right people at the right place. If one member is not sitting in the right place, either replace him with a different guy. That is the decision you should be taking. And that needs to be taken in a cool mind. And also in business, we should keep our egos at home and come. Because many times we take decisions, we talk to people, we discuss things based on our ego, personal ego. We should not be feeding our ego. Business is not done to feed your ego. Business is done to get you profits, not to feed your ego. You should feed your family. That's why you are doing business. So don't feed your ego. Get and feed your profits. Let the profits grow. And finally, when you get your time out, take peaceful time out of office. Start thinking, start running your brains, speed up your brains and see what's the next vision we should create, what's the goals we should create. And once that is put on a paper, then we see how we are going to implement it. What happens is, if you take the reality of repetitive work, most leaders like you and me, many times don't realize that there is repetitive work that's happening in the company. 60 to 70% of the work are repetitive, which can be automated and can be reduced from the workload of everybody. It's not that you fire the extra people out. It's that you use those people to work and put in their productivity so that the company grows more faster than you had planned for. If you are looking for a 2x growth every year, and you are growing with that, set up your systems, reduce reduce repetitive works, and then see your company will automatically grow 3x or 4x because the people have more time, they have more clarity, they don't have pressures. That's not valuable. Pressures should be there in work, it happens. But invaluable or unvaluable pressures, unwarranted pressures is what reduces productivity. Think about what all you do in a day. The lots of approval process, a lot of reports, lot of internal communication, task updates, client follow-ups, team coordination. How much of that can be automated? You are really spending not hours, days every week in trying to get those reports, trying to get those follow-ups done and everything. Let's automate it. Let's set up a system where the guy logs in the morning, he knows what all he needs to do, which clients needs to be followed up, which tasks needs to be finished, which needs to be updated. He has a list on his right side, which is automatically generated by the system. And once he finishes something, it automatically goes and sits in the other man's bucket in his dashboard, showing that this is finished by that guy and now it's your job. You need to do that. How easy life is. Whereas what happens? We start running behind that. Let's get out of this system. Let's get out of the daily running of the system. Let's get into a visionary mode. Let's create visions. Let's create goals and create strategies. Let's create and talk and bring in very big clients, not the small sales. Bigger strategic clients, strategic collaborations, partnerships. Those are the things that a business owner should be doing. Creating or setting up an automation or an ERP is not about removing people. It's not about replacing people with technology. It's about empowering people and freeing up your leadership energy. When people are empowered, their output automatically increases. And when you have more leadership energy left with you, yes, you start thinking big. You start getting more ideas. You start exploring what's technology. You start what's that we can implement, how we can grow. When you shift from doing more to doing smarter, there are a lot of changes. You start being the bottleneck. Your team starts working with ownership. You make better decisions. You take faster decisions. You scale the system, scale the company without burning out the company. Isn't that what you're looking at? Have an idea to get these things implemented? Want to know how? Get in touch with us. We have done for a lot of companies, a lot of startups. Let's be in touch.